Okay, so question 2. Express each quantity in terms of sine x and cos x. Okay, straightforward. This, recognize it. This is your, whatever they call that, your sum identity or your compound angle formula. Why the hell do I keep saying compound angle formula? I think that's wrong. I'm going to pause this shit. Okay, yeah. No, I'm right. That's why I'm saying compound angle formula. Okay, wicked. So, recognize it. When you're adding these things, it's asking you to do this. Sine of pi by 4 plus x equals. Okay, now, what does it equal? Well, this is like sine of a plus b. So, it equals sine a, or sine pi by 4, cos of x, plus, because the signs are the same when you do sine, cos this time of pi by 4 times the sine of x. Okay, now what is they don't want sine of pi by 4 because I know what that is exactly. This is 1 over root 2. How do I know that? Because I know my exact angles. You memorize this one. So 1 over root 2 times cos x plus, what's the cos of pi over 4? Huh? 1 over root 2 again. Cos of 45, sine of 45, they're the same thing. And the sine of x. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that that's good enough. Your teacher might want you to factor this thing out because that could be cos x plus sine x. I'm not sure whether she's going to want you to factor that out or whether this answer is good enough, but I'm pretty sure that that is the end of this answer. Express the quantity in terms of sine x and cos x. That is expressed in terms of sine x and cos x. B. Ready? Same thing. Now, if you know what you're doing here, pause the video, work ahead, see if you get the same answer I do. Okay. Cos x plus 3 pi by 4 equals. Okay, how's cos work? It goes cos of x, cos of, because this one does cos, 3 pi by 4. The sign switches. Because it was a plus, it's now a minus. Sine of x, I'm running out of pen here. Sine of, and as in I was running off the pad, not I'm running out of ink, because that'd be stupid. 3 pi by 4. Okay. Now, cos x remains cos x. So I get cos x of bracket. Now I could have just put that right in front of the cos x because that's where I'm going to want to put it anyways, but whatever, don't want to confuse anyone. 3 pi by 4. Okay, now, first of all, I'm going to go over this quickly up here. 3 pi by 4. Remember that this is 4 pi by 4 right here because it's pi. So this is 4 pi by 4. So 3 pi by 4 is up in this quadrant. This is where 3 pi by 4 is. Now, I label this sucker with cast, C-A-S-T, and what does that tell me? It tells me that for 3 pi by 4, sine is supposed to be positive, cos is negative. They still have the same answer. They have the same answer as their related acute buddy of pi by 4, which is, well, I just did that, 1 over root 2. So 1 over root 2. Cos is negative, though. Hope you can actually see that. So it's negative 1 over root 2, where this is minus the sine of x times, now the sine is up in s still for 3 pi over 4, so it's positive 1 over root 2 because it's the same as its acute, pi by 4. Okay, now that equals, now I'm going to take these things and move them to the front. So I get negative 1 over root 2, just because you move the coefficient to the front of this thing, cos of x, as opposed to showing it in brackets. This is probably better looking. Negative 1 over root 2 sine x. And again, your teacher may or may not want you to factor out that negative 1 over root 2. Remember, if you do factor it out, though, hell, I'm going to write it in here. Negative 1 over root 2 cos x plus sine x. Because you factored a negative out of this one and this one, remember that it turns to a plus inside. So if your teacher wants you to, you can take that and factor it to that. Question 2, done. Question 2, look for these suckers. Whenever you've got this thing, use your compound angle formulas. They're going to come up all the time. And this sucker used exact answers. So hopefully you know how exact answers work, and everything will be peachy.